Hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm going to be doing a little narration to this video where I condition my Truman boots in black Chrome XL using Armstrong's all-natural leather conditioning products. As you might know, I've used Armstrong's all-natural on a couple of other pairs of boots that I have, and the results have just been incredible, and so I can't wait to try them on these Trumans here. So this is obviously what my boots look like untreated. I've had them about 4 years and really only used Venetian shoe cream on them. So I've never actually done any really deep nourishing treatment on these. I haven't applied any black pigments or black creams to it at all. So what you're seeing right now is just basically 4 years of good aging. And over the years that I've had these, I've not been gentle on these boots. I've worn them in very rugged conditions for long periods of time, really putting them through the ringer. I'm frankly surprised to see that these haven't patinaed more. These are very sturdy boots. These were my first pair of Truman boots. I actually got them when they were still based out of Pennsylvania. So this is their earliest design, their earliest last, which has changed quite a bit over the years. And so if you look at the Truman boot design now, you'll see that it has changed a bit from these original models. And I love the height of them as well. They're some of the taller boots that I own. All right, so anyways, right here I'm buffing out the tongue. This is important before you start conditioning the boot. All right, and then here is the Armstrong's all-natural leather conditioner. It's a very nourishing oil-based product, and what that does is that seeps in real deep into the farthest, deepest layers of the leather and nourishes all the way through, which is important. That'll prevent cracking over time. It's important to apply it and then let it sit for a few hours, maybe a day, to really let it soak in. What I'm doing here is I'm taking a Q-tip and running that along the crease there, right in between where the sole meets the upper. That part is probably the most important part to apply the conditioning product to, just because that part of the upper is probably the part that gets the most stressed out. So I think it's really important to just get a Q-tip. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but you want to get in there all along the edge. And yeah, you want to get all around the entire perimeter of the welt. This actually has the double benefit of removing a lot of the dirt and debris that gets trapped deep in the crevice there, because that's an area of the boot that I know that I for sure neglect cleaning, and I'm sure other people do as well. So it's good to do as thorough a job as possible, because the better you care for the boots, the longer they'll last and the better they'll look. Right there I'm pointing out a scuff on the boot, and I'll be highlighting the before and after. All right, and here we go. This is the application dauber, and this is the black Brooklyn boot wax, and this stuff just smells incredible. It smells like orange peels, far better than the synthetic stuff. The application dauber really picks up a lot of it, so be mindful of that. You don't want to use too much or too little. It's a very fine balance to strike, but you'll figure it out as you go. And as you can see, I'm trying to get every surface of the upper covered, but I'm being very delicate and trying to avoid actually staining the stitches in the stitch down welt. I want the stitches to stay white, so I'm doing my best to avoid those. Yeah, all along the tongue. The tongue's important. The tongue is one piece of the boot that gets neglected. A lot of guys, they don't even take their laces out when they condition their footwear, and that's not a good idea. The creases at the base of the tongue are actually some of the most neglected portions of the boot, so you want to make sure you get the whole tongue. And I don't like to think of this as just a simple touch-up. It's like think of it more as a project. You know, it takes maybe a couple days to really do it right. And like the instructions in the Armstrong's all-natural shoe care kit say, they really recommend to take your time with this. You can't rush this stuff if you want to really do it right. And I agree with that. And one thing that I do with the eyelets as well, since the black colored Brooklyn boot wax gets on the eyelets, I take a Q-tip and I run it through the eyelets a few times to make sure that the eyelets are clear of all the pigments and all the dyes. That way it doesn't stain your laces, because to me the look of the laces really accentuate the overall look of the boot. Okay, and this is what they look like 24 hours after applying the boot wax, right before I start buffing. So get some angles around there to see what it looks like before they get shined up. And now I'm just buffing it out. The best part, you buff it, you want to get all the excess product wiped off so that it looks as clean and fresh as possible. I'm not super meticulous about achieving a mirror shine, What I am concerned with is using the best possible natural products to not only increase the leather's longevity, but to also enhance the natural cosmetic properties of the leather. And then I'm taking the flannels, the shine flannels that Armstrong provided, and using that to wipe off all the excess, especially on the hardware there, the rivets and the hook eyelets. You want to be meticulous with getting that off, because again, especially with a pair of black boots, you want to really make the contrasting elements of the boot shine and stand out as much as possible. So the parts of the boot that aren't black, I want to be as prominent looking as possible, so that the overall profile of the boot really comes out when you see the contrasting. And this is what I talked about earlier. I'm running the Q-tip through the eyelet several times as to get all the residue out, just so that the pigments don't bleed onto the laces. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to be lacing up these boots with my burgundy rawhide laces from Guarded Goods. I did condition them with jojoba oil, which is one of my favorite tricks to get these rawhide laces really well moistened and lubed up to be able to go through the eyelets easier. The rawhide laces from Guarded Goods are some of my favorite laces out there. I put them in a lot of my boots. And boom. Now let's get a close-up look at what they look like. Outstanding. As you can see, the scuff there that I'm pointing out is very well treated, very well concealed. You can still see the original indentation there from the scratch. It was a deep scratch, but that's okay because that's a battle scar, and battle scars just add to the patina of the boot. All right, well anyways, that's going to conclude the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. I am on Instagram. You can follow me there. My username is AeroSurferLV. You can check out these boots as I continue to wear them. And I do plan to make some more videos here of conditioning some more boots using Armstrong's all-natural products here soon, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.